Book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and guys, you're with me, Mike Spider Slayer. Welcome back, fans. Apologize for the late reviews this week, guys. Got a lot going on. When my kids are sick, a lot of work, and a lot of other things going on at the same time. But I finally had some time to review a comic book or two. I've only read 4 so far this week. But I had to review this book. This book is awesome, and this book is Justice League issue number 24, Forever Evil tie-in. Now, one thing that the Justice League Forever Evil tie-ins are great. There has not been one yet that has disappointed. I haven't read Justice League Dark yet, but this one was a phenomenal book. It's written by Jeff Johns, and the artwork is done by Ivan Rice. And the artwork in this book is awesome. Starts off with basically your cover here with the Crime Syndicate. It's a straightforward cover. Just looking at this book, you're like, okay, are they going to talk about just the Crime Syndicate, or what's going to happen here? So you had somewhat of an idea of something was going to happen. The interior art is really awesome. Love all the facial expressions and all the suspense that is in this book while reading it. It's a real page turner, and it's an enjoyable read here. But the art is just absolutely fantastic. From the second pages here, it's just a visual treat. I truly, really enjoy actually reading this issue and looking at it as well. There's another great page too. Just awesome. So, what did I think of this story? Right off the bat, I've already said it twice that this story was great. So we're going to go over a little bit with you. There will be spoilers, just so you guys know. But first things first, we go on to Krypton, 25 years ago. And you wind up seeing all the Kryptonians from Ultraman's Krypton trying to get their baby to safety. But everything is opposite. Everyone's like, he's like, only the strongest will survive, you know? And his whole, even Jor-El's son, is he's like, you're weak, you're pathetic. He's calling his son weak. And as Krypton explodes and they send him off into space, he has all the little messages going on through his adventure towards Earth. And, he's saying all the things that should be said. It's like, weakness of any kind must be rooted out and destroyed. And and then it says in little letters, you're a pathetic child. It's like embedding into his brain that weakness is not accepted in your world. And that's what was, being told. Everything is being told to him while he's a baby, how to be strong, how to survive. And anything that about Superman, it's completely opposite. Son gives him power. Son gives Superman power. Does the opposite for Ultraman. Takes away power. Really great stuff. Also in this issue, you get to see Mom and Pa Kent. They're real young, of course, when the spaceship lands, but they're a bunch of low-life crack junkies. That's basically what they are. Druggies, have no money. They come across this alien that lands in front of their house, and the baby Ultraman basically just demands the Kents being their parents, which was so hysterical because the baby's like, what, he's 2 years old and sitting there going, you will be my parents. And by the age of 7, the kid just like fries the parents. It's freaking awesome. Also you get to see, his little backstories of, how he uses his crime syndicate to his advantage, which was interesting to see. And you get to see the mission that is at hand here, where he has to go back. He has to go back to the desert. It's part of his mission. But in the process, he wants to go back to the Daily Planet and to recapture what's going on there. And he was dying to learn about Jimmy Olsen. And he goes and he sees Jim, and he just finds out that Jim is just weak. And he tries anything possible to sit there and get some anger or some not feel sorry for himself, but not care for others. And even when he's wounded and injured, all he cares about is Lois Lane. And it's just crazy because Lois gets all emotional in here, throws a typewriter at his back, and he's just like, whoa, and throws her against the freaking desk and everything else. And it's like, oh shit, man, what's happening? And every time you're freaking reading this book, you're like, holy crap, dude, this is crazy. You're just at the edge of your seat, just like this. Oh my god, what's gonna happen? Holy crap! And then Jimmy Olsen winds up having this secret alarm or whatever it is, like a silent alarm, like when you hit a bank when a bank's getting robbed or whatever. And it's a huge spoiler, so if you don't want to see this, fast forward a couple seconds. But then all of a sudden you see, bam! Oh man! So at this point, I'm sitting there going, oh no way! Because if you read the villains issue, you found out that Black Adam came back. And it's like, oh my god, this is freaking crazy. And then they start freaking battling each other here. And I'm just like, oh shit, dude. I was like freaking out. I'm like, I did not want this issue to end. And just when you think Black Adam's getting the upper hand, boom, here comes Ultraman striking back at Black Adam. You're like, oh man. And it just freaking ends just like this. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This is a great comic book. One of my favorites of the year. I found myself so intrigued about learning about Ultraman. We have all these characters that we don't know too much about. We know a little bit about Owlman from the Villains Month issue, but you have these crazy characters that are attacking the city or taking over the city and coming from a different Earth, and you're finally getting introduced a little bit to these characters more. And the first one they talk about is Ultraman. And it made you want to read his story. It makes you want to feel vested into these characters. So when the time comes for the Justice League to do battle, or whoever beats these guys, you might feel bad for them, or you might have a favorite to win, or when they go against each other, these group, you might want one to survive and want one to fail. This is awesome. It's not like where it's Battle of the Atom, where you got introduced a whole bunch of characters, and you're like, oh, this is Future X-Men. I want to know more about them. But they really don't tell you that much, and you can't get vested in it. This makes you want to get invested, want to know more. It makes you want to read more. So they're doing their job here. Again, who's writing this book? Jeff Johns. It's freaking awesome. Guys, if you have not bought a book, this is a one to buy. You don't even have to you don't have to read this to understand what's going on in the freaking Forever Evil series itself. You could just read this for fun and be like, dude, that was awesome. And you'd get enjoyment out of it. You wouldn't be completely lost. You might a little bit, but because of the crime syndicate. But dude, this is a great book. I highly recommend it. I cannot wait to see what all these other characters are about. And man, I am loving Forever Evil right now. Everything about it has been phenomenal. So I'm giving this one a 5 out of 5. It's going to be really hard to beat this book. So guys, tell me your thoughts and comments below. And guys, I'm going to tell you, follow my Twitter page because I'm trying to get more followers on there. So you can go to Comic Book Corner for Twitter. You can go on my Facebook page, which is Comic Book Corner as well. And, of course, you can follow the Dark Avenger Inc. crew as well. So, guys, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. And until the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. See you soon. Bye.